The race for retiring Senator Dianne Feinstein's seat in California is already shaping up to be one of the most competitive and expensive in the Golden State's history. Three candidates, Representative Barbara Lee, Katie Porter, and Adam Schiff, have already announced their campaigns. Representative Ro Khanna is reportedly weighing a run as well. And with us now, one of those contenders for the Senate seat, Congresswoman Barbara Lee of California. It's great to have you on the show this morning. Given who has already announced and who is yet to be announced, I guess the best way to start off this interview is to ask you what defines you from the field.
Nice being with you this morning. Well, let me just say, first of all, I have had a history of being a very clear, progressive Black woman who really understands the issues that California faces and can not only maintain my values as a fighter, someone who can stand up for what is right, but also my ability to deliver and to negotiate legislation and to really be there for people who really haven't been seen. The economy in California has to work for everyone. Right now, there are over 20 million people living below the poverty line. When you look at the climate crisis, when you look at homelessness, when you look at the issues around public safety, when you look at the issues that are impacting so many people, so many families in California, I've had lived experiences, but also I've brought them to the legislative bodies, both in the California legislature and now in Congress, to solve problems of everyday people. And I want the California voters to understand I see them, I fight for them, and I'm going to help them solve their problems.
You have some formidable opponents and one who's already received the endorsement of Nancy Pelosi. So what issues make you the choice to have this seat, Dianne Feinstein Senate seat?
Sure. You know, when you look again at the issues of inequality, the economy has to work for everyone, and it's not working for everyone. So I believe voters will understand and will believe when we talk to the voters that I will see them. I will make sure that childcare is available, affordable childcare. I've raised two sons as a single mom and had to take my children to school with me, to college, because I could not afford childcare. The climate crisis, when you look how it's impacting California with fires, with floods, but also impacting low-income communities that don't have the resources for mitigation efforts. When you look at the issues around unsheltered people, housing, homelessness, we have a real moral crisis in California as it relates to making sure that everyone in California benefits from the economy. And right now, inflation, what's going on with people who are living on the streets, unfortunately, and the 20 million people living below the poverty line. We have to address their needs, their issues, lift them up, and bring their needs and aspirations to the Senate. And I believe that many of those issues are being not seen, not heard, and not debated. And I've had the experience to deliver for Californians, and I intend to continue to do that in the Senate.
Congresswoman Lee, good morning. Jonathan Lemire. I was hoping we could talk a little bit more about one of the issues you just identified, which is climate change. As you well know, I remember going with the former president as a reporter to a couple of wildfires there, really bad ones in California. They're an annual occurrence, it seems. And now this winter, you've had so much in the way of floods, including, I know, some bad weather just in the last recent days. So California seems so particularly vulnerable and fragile to the impact of climate change. What exactly is your message going to be as to how the state and the nation can deal with it head on?
Sure. Head on, we have to first, and we're trying to make sure that we declare climate change crisis because, of course, our planet is burning. And California, unfortunately, has so many wildfires, floods, impacts on low-income and vulnerable communities. I think what we must do is look at how, first of all, we can send resources to California for mitigation efforts. We have some of the strongest laws in California as it relates to reducing greenhouse emissions, reducing all of the issues that impact our climate. But what we have to do, though, is fund and have, I support the Green New Deal, for example. I support creating good paying union jobs as a result of our green economy and helping people put panels on houses and solar panels on buildings. So we have to look at the environmental impacts, create good paying jobs that really will also help the economy in California. And again, we have some very, I think, clear laws and regulations in California that I believe the federal government needs to look at and execute on a federal level.
Congresswoman Barbara Lee of California, thank you so much for coming on the show this morning. We appreciate it.